Pretty ironic title, right? How does sadism hurt sadists? Well, think about it for a minute. If you decided to start shit and provoke and harass other people, doesn't it seem like there's at least some risk for some kind of backlash? I've always been amazed at the sheer self-destructive stupidity of bullies who choose to abuse people in class, pushing them over the edge, despite all of these school shootings that keep happening every year. Why push someone over the edge and risk having them bring a gun to school and shoot you in the face? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? And what would you gain from doing this bullshit anyways? How does harming someone else benefit you at all? It's not like a coyote who needs to eat deer in order to survive. In many instances, humans have no need to harm each other unprovoked. They gain nothing and risk losing everything when engaging in sadism. There are a few exceptions to this, of course, such as if someone is starving to death and decides to steal food from someone else to avoid starvation, even though that other person didn't do anything to deserve being stolen from. However, I think that it's safe to say that the majority of instigatory harm done is unnecessary, and even destructive to the person who does it. Even in the exceptions like the one example given earlier, there is still risk of harm being inflicted on the person who does it, even if it is necessary. A person who steals food to survive still risks getting caught and punished. It's really something you would rather avoid doing altogether, if possible. But then again, in a just society, nobody would starve if there is food to spare. You wouldn't want people to be more impoverished than you just so that you can feel superior to them, because if people have adequate resources, they are obviously less likely to steal from you. But then again, some people are so sadistic and self-destructive that they would steal from you anyways just for fun, and that sort of thing is what I am going to focus on here. Imagine that you are some kind of autocrat, a dictator, a king, etc. What would be the best thing to do for your own well-being? To maintain power? To even boost your own ego? It is to treat your people well. If they are happy with the way you rule and treat them, then they will be far less likely to rise up and rebel against you. If they are far less likely to rebel, then it is far more likely that you will maintain power. If they love you, they will want to keep giving you even more power. In addition, they will give you constant praise and admiration for how well you are doing. That is a major boost for your ego, is it not? We are usually told that things like selfishness and ego are inherently bad. The implied definition of these terms usually involve the idea that other people are harmed in the process. But what if they don't necessarily cause harm to others? What if they can actually be good for others? If we define selfishness as simply doing what's best for your own well-being, then a king would be motivated to treat his people well so that they don't rebel, as explained earlier. If we define ego as simply a desire to feel important and valued, then a dictator would want to rule in a fair, just manner because that would make it more likely that they'll get praised for doing such a great job. One thing I've noticed about sadistic, nasty people is that they're very self-destructive. When these pedophile billionaires screw people over and push them over the edge, they become hated by everybody, and increase the risk of getting overthrown. When parents abuse their kids, they increase the risk of getting thrown into terrible nursing homes later on, assuming that the kids don't cut them out entirely once they move out. If billionaires really wanted an ego boost, they would pay everybody good wages, give them good benefits, and in return people would love them and give them praise. If parents really wanted their kids to take care of them when they're older, then the parents would never abuse them. Why treat your kids terribly, and risk having them throw you into a terrible nursing home as punishment later on, when you can treat your kids well, and drastically increase the odds that they take really good care of you during old age?